thank you for your continued testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. I am very honorable.
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we will bring this trial into process. We are kicking it off here with the prosecution. Prosecution, please state your case regarding a farmer being accused of sucking toes on his farm and sucking dick, none of them being humans.
Brother,
Yes, Your Honor. We have proof from an eyewitness testimony on his farm. He has many farm workers, but none of them have ever received their toes sucked or their dicks sucked. This has been his animals.
Interesting.
Prosecutor, I will hold you in contempt if you do not state an actual piece of evidence from your file.
Yes, Your Honor. I have the evidence right here. The stuck chewing gum that was found on the genitalia of the animals.
Oh, God.
And also this, a suspicious bill of 10,000 pounds of bubble gum. Here, we have a notebook of his checklist of every animal on the farm, which he would check every day before going to bed. Make sure every animal got their fair share. That's so sorry. And I rest my case for now, Your Honor.
Jesus Christ. Defense, please state your case in regards to the current evidence being brought against your client. Currently,
All right,
the defense...
let me go with the order of what just happened, just so we're all keeping track. So stuck chewing gum. I don't really think anyone really sucks on stuck chewing gum anywhere. Okay, or it has related to with anything with animals. Suspicious bill of what exactly? I'm sorry.
A suspicious bill of 10,000 pounds of chewing gum to his farm every month.
Gotcha.
Juice.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll look
Sucking
more into
toes.
that. And a notebook of animals checkmarked every day. What do you think you have to do on a farm? Huh? A farm of.
I will remind you once again, bailiff, of my authority in this courtroom.
I apologize. I apologize.
And I rest my case! Oh, sorry. Let me restart. Your notebook here. A list of all the animals. Check mark.
Wake up, you fat fuck.
Whoa. Profanity in the court. This list is literally just a farmer's list of taking care of his animals.
Objection.
Defense, that is enough.
No.
Defense, that is enough from you.
One more,
Objection.
please. One more.
Defense.
I have a very solid defense.
Defense Attorney MightyBlueFlame, while we are sitting here within this courtroom, I do appreciate your candidness as you continue to defend against the three pieces of evidence that have been provided against your client. However, as the defense, I have yet to see any credible evidence in solid defense of your client. Would you mind even taking one singular minute to look at your folder? This is preposterous. You continue to hold up my courtroom in such a manner.
All right. Well, I'll take a question here. Prosecutor, name 3 animals on this farm.
Cows, chickens, and pigs. And horses.
Okay.
Isn't that something you ask the witness, not the prosecutor?
The defense calls back to the stand.
Yes, Your Honor. I am the boss of this here farm.
I would like to ask you, what animals do you specifically possess in this farm?
Oh, I possess a lot of things. I got some cows, some horses, a couple donkeys, ducks, dogs, cats, chickens.
Okay,
Wait,
the
Jerry.
majority of the animals you've listed, could you say those even had hooves, so no toes to suck?
Can I get a turn? I can't even ask a question.
And and a figurine that we found in a jar.
Oh yes,
A figurine.
I can say that Farmer Fucker does love his figurines.
Yeah, in this figurine that we found
Fantastic.
is not in any animalistic form at all whatsoever, so we really couldn't say that he likes to suck cocks or toes of animals. How can we really say, like, what actual confounding evidence do we have to really put against him? Like, his sexuality is obviously not animals. He legit has a checklist how to take care of his animals. He's just a farmer on his farm taking care of his farm.
Say that checklist is for the animals. I do have pieces of evidence that will show. But he doesn't
Is someone
do it.
going to ask me a damn
Oh shit!
question?
Back to the bench.
Shit, I forgot he was here. I present to you this incognito costume. Would use it while he went to go suck the animal's toes. He would use a universal remote to make them like it. Just like that movie with Adam Sandler's.
Oh yes, that's a great.
And with that evidence, I show he did it with that remote from that Adam Sandler movie.
Prosecution, with these outlandish claims, is there anything to back you up besides this somewhat superstitious
Yes, Your
evidence
Honor.
you provided in the court?
Yes, Your Honor. I have an eyewitness who witnessed it. You normally sleep inside the barn. Did you witness Barfucker putting on his disguise?
That's not his name. That's not his name. That is
Yes,
not
it
his
is.
name.
That's, it is on his birth
I
certificate.
would ask you kindly to refrain from any outbursts in this courtroom. The policeman under
Farmer fucker.
Klein's found that he is in fact called Farmer Fucker and is accused of sucking on toes on his farm and sucking dick, none of them being humans. Jesus
We have
Christ.
his birth
I
certificate
don't know what
right
I'm
here.
doing.
Now, on the day that Farmer Fucker is being accused of, did you witness him entering the barn with his clever disguise and his universal remote from Adam Sandler's hit movie Click?
Oh,
Holy
that's a
shit.
great movie.
Sorry.
I like that movie. It has Adam Sandler in it.
Holy hell, it does.
What day did that happen on? What day are we talking about?
This day was May 16th, 1989. It has been happening for almost
Oh
33
yes,
years.
I remember that. It was a horrible day. I was sleeping in the barn again because it's warm, it's dry, and it doesn't rain on my head. I
Okay,
was peacefully sleeping in the hay, minding my own business, and I hear a horse neighing, and it just keeps on neighing all the time. Now, I'm a curious man. I may be homeless, but I am curious. So I went to go see what was happening. And I see Farmer Fucker right over there. That man. I see him in a incognito costume sucking up his horse's toes. And on his, oh my god, I can't even say it. It was his wiener.
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Olsen, I must ask you to please refuse from any profanity such as a wiener in this courtroom. Wiener is a slur in this house of the sock. Please mind your manners.
Your Honor, it was indeed, if you want to go by the medical term, it was a penis.
That's exactly what I said. A wiener.
Your Honor, your bailiff is not home.
Please, I must remind you once more to maintain order, but in a fair fashion in this courtroom.
He keeps saying wiener.
Your Honor, that rests my case where I have his eyewitness testimony.
I didn't get a chance to question.
Prosecution, thank you for your continued testimony.
Yes, Your Honor, I am very honorable.
Oh my god.
So good. With this in mind, we have 5 pieces of evidence against your client with only 1 piece of evidence in defense. How would you like to continue your case?
With that presented evidence, obviously homeless man.
That's me.
No one wants to hear it right now. He's clearly been squatting in this man's farm. He's homeless, and he's willing to say anything to keep that roof over his head. You've heard him multiple times just talk about how nice the barn is. And he was literally talking about how he's sucking horse toes. Horse has hooves.
Defense, within my notes here, I also have noted that the prosecution claims with their evidence that there was an incognito costume comprising of glasses, a mustache, and that somehow equates to stealth. Do you and your client have anything to say for this?
Why would he have to sneak
alleged
into his own
costume?
barn? And you know what? Honestly, I'm starting to connect the dots here. Okay, we have a sticky page book. For one, sticky page book of just these gnarly looking things that it's just hard. It does have scribbles of animals, but it's illegible. It's weird. An old suitcase of profound sex objects. Don't know why he'd want with that. A loose
Sticky
sir.
because of the.
Thank you, bailiff. Defense, I must ask you to please elaborate further on this whole case, which might hold secrets.
In my
Please.
defense, has there been anybody like actually witnessing this disguise belonging to my client, or was this disguise meant to frame my client? It was being worn by this homeless man so he could squat at this barn and suck some farm animal toes and cocks.
Maybe you want
As
to question
reported in
me.
this statement.
Your Honor, can I get a chance to speak, please?
Prosecution, mind your fucking manners.
I asked nicely.
No, mind your manners. The defense calls the homeless man to the stand.
A wiener, I say. A wiener.
Jeez.
Oh, we-
Yeah, you keep talking about this profound language of your private parts. Yes, we know, as you're so obsessed with it. So what were you doing there in the first place? What gravitated you to this
For 30
farm?
minutes.
I was sleeping because it's warm and dry and it doesn't rain on my head.
Yes, but what? You must get bored there. Like, is there anything else you'd like to do there besides sleep and stay dry?
Well, at first it was boring, but then, I saw a farm fucker and he had his mouth around a wiener. A wiener, I say.
Of
That's
what you say?
very interesting.
What animal did you say it was?
Well, it happened to a lot of animals over the time.
No, you stated one animal and only one animal. Can you please repeat what animal you said?
A horse.
Your Honor! As we all know, horse penis is very large. It cannot even fit in my client's mouth.
I had no idea that was a scientific fact. What do you mean it's too big to fit in the mouth?
So he is obviously not upholding the court rules of saying upholding
Defense,
this.
defense, please. Hold for just one singular
Objection.
moment. Journalist,
Yes, Your Honor.
I must ask, as you a reporter of the news, have you at least heard of once that a horse penis is too large to fit in a sock's mouth?
I mean, I think I've seen it fit before.
You think?
Interesting.
As a journalist, yeah, I
You
have to see a
think?
lot of.
So you don't
Listen,
know? Or are you making it
it's
up?
part of the trade.
Are you making it up?
There's a fair chance.
All right,
Your
ladies and
Honor, he
gentlemen,
just wants to snore.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to wrap up and conclude with closing arguments. We are going to bump it back on over to the prosecution. Mind you as well, we're going to send that fucker back. Prosecution,
wiener!
please state prosecution, please state in a timely manner your closing statement regarding the defense so I can get off this fucking bench. My ass hurts.
That man did do it. We've seen it multiple times. And that disguise, I have that disguise of sunglasses. There have been games where someone disguised by just wearing a paper mask. What is the proof saying? I could put on a sunglasses and mustache that looks like a horse and go suck another horse's cock with my horse mouth.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
He
What a
did
very
what?
interesting angle, prosecution. I appreciate your time. Bailiff, silence the prosecution. Defense, please state your closing arguments. That way we can continue on this charade of the courtroom.
Speaking of charade, these are definitely outlandish claims. We are going off of witnesses of a homeless man trying to do anything, everything to stay in this barn for whatever reason and whatever more reasons. I just don't think these are upholding.
A wiener.
Bailiff, silence our man.
I rest my case with that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I appreciate your time and patience. This trial is coming to a conclusion. In the case of farm fucker being accused of sucking on toes on his farm, sucking toes on his farm and sucking dick, none of which being humans, I find the defense
Wiener. Wiener.
guilty.
What? You gotta get this outlandish. You were paid.
Why did that take so yell?
It took so long.
Please, so I got nobody else put me on the I cannot be a judge. It's gonna run for another hour and a half.
I mean, I kind of like that one.